YouTube. I'm just gonna do a couple day update. It's only been like 2 or 3 days I've had this thing. One thing that I've noticed, I don't know if you can see it, the juice right there, where the pin is that it pivots on, it's leaking juice out of. And it just constantly does it. I'll wipe it away and then a few minutes later it'll be back again. I think it's already starting to come back. I don't know if you can really see it. Oh yeah, you can a little bit, that little droplet. It's starting to come back. Excuse me, kitty, doing something. I do like it now. Now that I got the coil completely broken in, I'm using the quad coil because the triple coil heats this thing up like a motherfucker. The RBA base is okay, that's good. Quad coil, I think it's the best. And the RBA base, I really like that. I want to try to get the dual coil one, but yeah, this thing is supposed to fire down to 0.2, and now I have it firing down to 0.15. Can't really see it. See if I can get it to adjust. Well, it says 0.16, but it fires 0.15 because it bounces in between. But, got it all the way up at 60 watt, but now it's back at 0.15. But yeah, it is a beast, you can see. Still, it just keeps coming right back. It just keeps leaking right out of there. I don't know why neither. It's a good tank. I mean, it does produce clouds. It does eat juice. And I still wouldn't buy it again. I still wouldn't. Even if I lost it, I probably still would not go buy it again. I mean, maybe, but probably not, just because all the little problems I keep finding with it, it's ridiculous. The O-ring in the top, it's just like too big. It doesn't sit all the way in the slot that it's in, so if it's dry and you try to put the glass back in, it just smashes off of it and then pulls it out, and it just gets stuck on the top of the glass. It doesn't get stuck on the side like it's supposed to. I have a piece of an O-ring in the airflow. You can see it right there. It's been like that since I got it. I can't get it out of there. It just must have been when they put it together, it ripped it. So, that sucks. This thing moves up and down a little bit, which ain't bad. But, I mean, it still has a nice, restricted turn, so it ain't going to bounce out of place. But, you see? Just keeps doing it. Keeps fucking leaking right out of there every time I wipe it away. Other than that, I haven't had no leaking problems, but sometimes I get spit back. Not usually, though. And for a 140 watt coil, I think this one's 140 watt. I can't remember. It's either, no, yeah. I think the other one's 130. This one's 140. But having it at 60 watt, it works fine on an MVP 3.0 Pro, and it's not even supposed to fire it. It's supposed to only fire down to 0.2, and it's firing lower than that. I don't think it will go any lower than that. I've said that before, but I really don't, because I remember putting some out, it was like a 0.13, and it would not fire it. So, I mean, maybe 0.4, 0.14, but 0.15, I think, is going to be definitely the lowest you can go, which is actually pretty cool. And I looked it up. I think I'm drawing 20 amps from this battery, even though it's a 17.5, but I've never had it get hot. I'm drawing it. I typed it in to my little converter that I have. It was, I put in 0.15, and then 60 watt, and then I hit calculate, and it gave me the voltage and something else I can't remember, or the amperage, voltage and the amperage. So, yeah, and it was right, too, because it was at 60 watt, it said 60 watt, and it said 3.09 volts, or 3.093 something. But, see, now it's at 0.15, but when it was at 0.16, it was like 19 amps. So, I mean, it's a little bit over what it's supposed to handle, but it works, and it doesn't heat up. I haven't took this tank off since I've gotten it, so I just wanted to really put it through its paces and see how it works, see? It gets worse, too. When the tank's really full, it'll fucking sift right out of there, seep right out of there. Which is bullshit, but what can you do? I mean, yeah, I spent $50 on it, but yeah, it kind of sucks, but it works good, produces good, flavor is real good now. that other triple coil, I don't recommend that fucking thing. Because it gets hot. I mean, it gets fucking hot. Where I took like 3 toots and fucking touched the side of this fucking thing, and it was like, oh. So, yeah, I don't recommend using that fucking thing. The quad coil, it gets a little warm, but it's nothing bad. The RBA base, it stays like completely fucking cold, and maybe get a little tiny bit warm. But that's after ripping on it a bunch of times because I'm a chain vapor. And I know if I put it on something more higher wattage like my X Cube, then it would produce way more. But I like it on this, so I don't burn through so much juice. And it works okay at 60 watt. And I have a high VG juice in this, and it wicks perfect. I can chain vape the fuck out of it, never get a dry hit. I got a 75-25, that Majestic juice that I always use. Today I'm probably going to go get some more juice. I'll probably do a review on. That's pretty much it. I just want to give you an update. Let you guys know my experience with this thing, and it's kind of shitty. It's, like I said before, it's not all cracked up to what it's supposed to be. It's not as good as people say. I mean, it's good, but, you know, I think it's right there with the Triton, really. Because the Triton, I mean, gets out the air full holes on the top. It leaks a little bit. This thing just has stupid little leaking problems at the top, too. And then just the way they put it together, it's just bullshit, you know. Quality control track like that should have never left with that O-ring like that. Because what if I turn it a lot and the O-ring breaks and then it starts shredding and then this thing just fucking floppy cocking on here, you know? It shouldn't have left. And then the pin being crooked. I mean, since I put it on something, it's pushed itself down in further. I tried pushing it in before I put it on any device, but you could tell it's still extremely close to the side over there and a big ass gap over here, but at least it's like flat now. But still, it's kind of fucking ridiculous if you ask me. I mean, I know some tanks are like that, but this one seems really fucking close. Really close. And now some people say, like, how is it gonna wick when it gets all the way down? I've vaped this thing till it's completely fucking empty because that one slot on this coil is underneath right here where it gets the last little bit of juice. And sometimes I go like this just to make sure. But the way these work, how you can't see the cotton underneath, the juice sits right in between right here where it's all metal. That's probably where the wicking is. It sits in there, like, because it's so thick and the metal's so close, like, you know, like a water droplet or something, you put it between your fingers and it stays there like that. That's what the juice does. That's how it continuously wicks and you don't get dry hits. Just putting that out there. I mean, if some people have gotten dry hits, that's probably user error because I haven't got no fucking dry hits and I chain vape the fuck out of this thing. And it produces clouds. But yeah, I probably wouldn't buy it again. I would probably maybe try out that Cyclone tank or Hercules or something. There's a store that I know of right here in it's like Camillus, like Fayetteville, or no, Camillus, Fairmount, New York. It's premium e-cigs. I know I said the Solve e-cigs is great, but the premium has cheaper prices on tanks. At the Solve, they wanted 60. I got it for 50 at the premium e-cigs. So, I mean, yeah, they're both real good stores. They both got great juices. I mean, Solve has a great juice selection and it's cheap. I mean, but the other store, Premium, they have a way bigger selection of premium juices that are all like $20 for a 30 ml bottle, which is great. They have Cutwood, that Chew juice, Telios, they got all sorts of shit there. I can't remember. They got a whole bunch of juice. They got a shit selection. Like, not shit, I mean, what, a shitload of a selection. Like, it's crazy. So if you're in that area, go check them out. They're right in Camillus near the, well, it's considered Milton Ave, so I don't know what it's considered. I went through Camillus, but it's right near the Home Depot and the Fast Track right there on Milton Ave. So go check them out. Yeah, they're actually pretty good. And that 60 watt of vape is nice and cool. I mean, see, it's getting a little warm. Ain't shit though. That's why I was kind of dreading using this coil first. I was thinking it was going to be like the freaking triple coil. And it's not. It seems like I get better flavor and more airflow off it too. The RBA base, just airflow is a little restricted. But I think with the dual coil, it's probably you get a little bit more airflow. But yeah. The quad coil and the RBA bases are the best, I think. That 6-tuplet coil must get hotter than a motherfucker. Straight up. Hotter than a motherfucker. If that triple coil gets like that. But, yeah, that's all I got.